Yo, back once again with another video, man. Yes, this one is going to be a music type of deal. This is not going to be a movie review like what I normally do. This is going to be more so me talking about hip-hop, man. I want to talk about Kendrick. Now, we all know that his album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, is coming up. It's actually coming out midnight tonight. So, yeah, man, it's a lot to look out for, a lot to look forward to as far as like where him goes. And yeah, let's get right into it. Now, Kendrick, he hasn't dropped in like the last 5 years, man. I mean, if you don't count the, that little unreleased project that he came out with, which is not really an official project, it was more so like unreleased studio songs that wasn't finished. And, I think it was like 10 songs. But like I said, all the songs on there wasn't really done. It was more so like a one-off type of deal. He just put it out just cause, I guess. And then the Black Panther soundtrack, which had him heavily involved in it. He was heavily a part of that Black Panther soundtrack. But like I said, you can't really count that because it had plenty of other artists on there. And that's not really like his main project. It wasn't his like main project. It was part of like the movie soundtrack. So, like, if you don't count those, then the last project that he did come out with was Damn, that came out back in 2017, which was, like I said, 5 years ago, which is insane. So this dude has been pretty much been laying low ever since. And he has been, performing at certain shows here and there. But as far as, like, music goes, he has been completely quiet, man. So a lot has changed, over these past 5 years. Definitely with, the pandemic and stuff like that, yada, yada, yada. That changed a lot of things. But overall, in general, like as far as like the sound and stuff like that and artists who are now prominent in the hip hop scene now, like a lot has changed since, he, last came out with a project. So it's going to be pretty interesting to hear, what he's been working on, man, what kind of style he's going to be running with on this album. Now, I will say that I wasn't a big fan. I mean, I am a big fan of his first album, which is Good Kid, Mad City. Like, I love that album. But his last two, man, didn't really do it for me, especially The Pimp a Butterfly. Now, I know I'm going to be pissing off a lot of the Kendrick stans that's probably going to be coming across this video. You could start typing in your hate comments, but yes, To Pimp a Butterfly to me is trash. I did not like that album at all. I don't know what the hype is about that album. A lot of people like praise the heck out of that album, man. It's like, oh my God, that's the goal, like best album ever. I'm like, I don't see it. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe my ears are broken, but To Pimp a Butterfly did not do it for me. And as far as Damn go, while yes, I did enjoy Damn much more than I did To Pimp a Butterfly. However, Damn for me was good on a first time listen. Going back and, re-listening to that album again, it's kind of like a bore to listen through. You know what I mean? Like I said, there are some songs that I do like on Damn, but overall, at best is a decent album. You know what I mean? It's not one of those albums to where I'm going to constantly be going back and playing, the songs. Maybe Loyalty because I love that song. But other than that, man, like I'm not going to be, there's no really interest of me going back to Damn and listening to that album. So yeah, Kendrick, he hasn't been really doing it much for me for the past two albums, man. So he's not, like I said, Kendrick, I'm a Kendrick fan. You know what I mean? I do like Kendrick. I do think that he is, a lyrical beast. He could spit, like he is that deal. But I think the people who like love Kendrick Lamar just like overly gloats about this dude and, always think that he's always like super deep and that's one of the things I do see with Kendrick. Like, he does play into that, like, super deep kind of, like, artist where everything he comes out with is always, like, some deep message and stuff like that. Now, I am into it, but I do think that it seems like he tries a little bit too hard to play into that now. Like, everything that he comes out with is always like, oh, some deeper meaning. And, especially with the new video that came out with the Hearts Volume 5, whatever that shit is. I'm pretty sure there's tons of breakdowns of people like, oh my God, like this means this, and him changing into the different characters in the video actually means this, and trying to make it a little bit deeper than what it is. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that there isn't a message in it. Of course there is a message in it. And I do like that video, by the way. I will say that. I do think that, I do like the song. It's a dope song. I think, you know, Kendrick spitting, like, you know, par for the course, he's going to go in. You know what I mean? The first time that I listened to it, I'm like, I didn't really know what to take from it. I just looked at it for what it is. I was just like, okay, whatever. But then I looked at it a second time, and that's where it kind of like sunk in, and that's where I liked it a little bit more, especially towards the end where he turned into Nipsey Hussle. He had that, you know, beautiful message. Well, it was almost like creepy, like him changing into the different characters and shit. But like when he changed into Nipsey at the end and he was talking about, you know, look over my family, look over, you know, kind of like the city of LA and stuff like that. That was beautiful because it was almost like it was Nipsey talking to us, but it's actually through Kendrick and he changed into Nipsey. But it felt like it was Nipsey relaying that message out to the people. That's why it was kind of like creepy in a way. But like what he said was dope. And like I said, him turning into Nipsey, like I said, for that moment, you almost felt like, yo, it was Nipsey talking. You know what I mean? Even though he didn't sound like Nipsey, but it looked like Nipsey. And that sounds like something that Nipsey would say, you know, if he was to have like a last message, you know what I mean? So that's what made it kind of like impactful. You know, I think that's what made the song for me. The other stuff that he talked about where he turned into Kobe and Will Smith and shit like that. Yeah, that does. Yeah, I guess you could, you know, pick apart certain messages in there. But like I said, overall, I just think that, you know, the song that he did come out with, you know, the video, I think it was pretty cool, man. It's a nice song. I did really like it. But man, over the years, man, like Kendrick fans, man, like it's a lot like J. Cole fans. Like it's this overly, you know, fanboy shit like for Kendrick. Like everything that Kendrick and J. Cole puts out is like, oh my God, it's just like, oh, it is the epitome of artistry. It's so masterful. And I was just like, really? Like ever since Kendrick came out with the Control verse, that's where like his whole entire fan base just like eats up every single thing that Kendrick does. Same with J. Cole, man. And I don't really get it with J. Cole. Like, to me, J. Cole is boring. Nah, don't get me wrong. Like, J. Cole, he could spit, man. He is a good MC. But, like, his songs and shit ain't really all that to me. It's like, it's mediocre at best, but people was like, oh my God, J. Cole said this, he's the GOAT because he had this dope-ass verse on this freaking song with B.R. He had this dope-ass verse with Benny the Butcher. Yo, he the GOAT, man, greatest of all time. Like, they over-dramatize his, like, skills and talent. And to me, it's just like, yo, he's cool. Like, he's a good artist, but I'm just like, he's not like this God-level artist that a lot of people make him out to be. And it's the same with Kendrick. You know what I mean? A lot of people make Kendrick out to be like this way above and beyond, ultra revolutionary, like ultra unique type of artist to where everything that he comes out with is like, oh my God, the artistry. I haven't seen this artistry before. It's so just, oh. I'm just like, yo, it ain't that, like, it ain't like that. And especially I see people doing it with this where it's like, oh, mastery, man, genius, man, just, oh. I'm just like the over glotization, if that is even a word of this art, of Kendrick, man. It's just annoying. That's why I kind of like to make fun of him at times, man. Like certain comments that I put on Twitter. So I like to make fun of people, make fun of the Kendrick stans, like get them all riled up. I had a tweet a little while back talking about how trash the Pimp a Butterfly was. And yeah, the Kendrick stans came after me, man. They came after me. But like even I was watching another video of some other dude talking about the video that Kendrick just come out with. And he was basically saying kind of like the same thing I'm saying, like, yo, like, this shit ain't really that deep. Like, it's a good video, but, like, the overall message and stuff, he didn't really see what the deeper message and stuff. And people got on him. Like, people were like, yo, man, if it's not for you, then blah, blah, blah. Like, he's not saying that it sucks or anything. He's just saying that I don't get the deeper, like, what y'all making it out to be. I don't see it. Like, this deeper message is like, he's doing like this sort of, a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people like, yo, if you have a message, just say it straight out. Don't try to like put it behind a veil and having, have us to figure it out. I do like that shit. Like I like that cryptic sort of stuff. But there's a lot of people that don't like that. They like straightforwardness. If you're going to relay a message, especially through music, make it be straightforward. And that's what the dude was saying in the video. He was like, yo, I don't like this whole cryptic shit. Like, you trying to be like extra deep. Like, yo, if you got a message, just be more straightforward with it. Like, why hide it behind some veil and then we have to decipher and to pick what you're talking about? And like a lot of the people in the comments, in his comment section, you know, pretty much ranked on him because he didn't get the message, or it was like a little bit too deep for him. And people was like, oh, if it's not for you, then, you know, you should. It's like every single time, man. So yeah, with Kendrick, man, it's like I said, Kendrick is a good artist, but his fan base, especially the ones who are like the stans, like the Kendrick stans, they're annoying, man. Same with J. Cole, like the stan base of Kendrick, man. They're like everything that Kendrick comes out with is like, oh my God, the mastery, the artistry. I haven't seen something like this. And it's just like, dude, we've seen this before, man. It ain't really nothing new. He ain't really reinventing the wheel, dog. Like, calm down. Like, it ain't that deep, man. And I think with Kendrick, he plays into that. Like, he likes, like, he really tries to be that, especially with this. Like, if you have been paying attention to, like, Kendrick's social media and how he's been, you know, coming out with certain shit, like he's going to be coming out with another album. He has, like, this cryptic sort of website called oklama.com, some shit like that, where you click on the website, he gives certain updates as far as, like, when his album's coming out. This is how we found out that his album was coming out midnight tonight, because he said a couple months back that, yeah, my album's coming out in May, blah, blah, blah. He's been, like, pretty much hitting at clues and shit. So he plays into that. He plays into the trying to be super deep, and his fan base just eats it up every single time, you know? So, you know, when his album comes out, I am interested in hearing it. You know, I'm very curious to hear how it sounds, man, because like I said, his last two albums didn't really do it for me. So hopefully, man, you know, he could come out with something that, you know, reminds me of his first album, which is Good Kid, Mad City. I like Kendrick when he's like that. Sometimes Kendrick could go a little bit too far in the deep end. He's doing like some weird shit, and it's just like, I don't know what you're doing, man. Like, you're kind of trying too hard for me. And especially in To Pimp My Butterfly, that's exactly what it is. I think that's one of the reasons why I didn't like that album, because he was trying to be like some spoken word poet, and it sounded all jazzy and 60s. I'm like, this ain't for me, man. This is boring, man. A lot of the songs on To Pimp My Butterfly is boring. It's just, like I said, it's not for me, man. And like I said, Damn wasn't like that, but it had some of the sort of same weirdness that Kendrick has in some of the songs, where he like go in like weird pitches and do all kind of crazy weird shit. There's a parody video on YouTube from Crank Lucas. Shout out to him. He made a Why I Can't Engineer Kendrick Lamar, and that sums up Kendrick Lamar perfectly. Like all the little mannerisms that he does in the songs, like the weird high and low pitch sounds that he does in some of the songs. That sums it up just beautifully. So if you haven't checked that out, check it out. But going back to the album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, just basing it off of the song that I heard that he came out with, you know, Hearts Volume 5, whatever that song is called, it has the sound of To Pimp a Butterfly, but I hope that whole album is not like To Pimp a Butterfly 2. I don't want to hear To Pimp a Butterfly again, you know what I mean? But it does have that sort of like spoke wordy type of sound, like that jazzy type of sound, I guess. You know, has like an old school type of sound. Like I said, very jazzy, very poetic type of feel. So it does feel like this album is kind of going to be more so along the lines of To Pimp a Butterfly, but I hope it's a better version. I really do. Like I said, I want to hear the Good Kid, Mad City Kendrick again. That type of Kendrick again. But I don't know, man. Kendrick, he's committed to this spoke wordy, you know, black fist in the air, revolutionary type of rap, conscious type of rap, which is cool, but I think he tries a little bit too hard with it at times, you know what I mean? Just to me. And I just hope that this album is at least a good album. I want something that's like, okay, this is the Kendrick that I want. This is the Kendrick that, you know, I like. You know what I mean? I hope it's not like To Pimp a Butterfly, man. Like, I don't, and I have a concern that that's what it's gonna be. Now, I do think that this album is gonna be a double album because, like I said, if you've been paying attention to his social media and how he's been promoting this album, if you go on that website, he posted a picture not too long ago of him holding 2 CDs, and one says Mr. Morale on the CD, and another one says The Steppers. So I'm assuming that's a clue and a hint to allude to, yes, that this is gonna be a double album, but who knows? It may just be, you know, a single album with however many songs. But, you know, if it's a double album, that's even better, man, because that gives him more, you know, time to, I guess, it gives him more of a chance for me to like it, because then they'll give me a much greater chance to like a vast amount of the songs on the album if it's more songs. So, overall, man, not to drag this video out as long as I am right now, I do hope that this album is a return to form for Kendrick for me. Like, I want to hear that Good Kid, Mad City sound again, man. I feel like that sound is kind of lost. He kind of went another route with his music. I guess you could say he's evolved from that, but I mean, the evolution, I'm not really that interested in, you know. But Kendrick, he is a great artist, man. I don't want to take away from that, you know what I mean? He could spit, and I see why people really like him and his talent. He does have skill. He is, you know, good at what he does, but I just feel like this overly praise for his work and, you know, for his stuff that comes out. I think it's a little bit too overrated. Like, they treat it as something that we haven't seen before. Like, oh, nobody could do this. Like, that's how it comes off to me. And this is why I like to that's why I like to poke fun at these Kendrick stands, because they're like sensitive. Like, as soon as you have the slightest bit of criticism toward Kendrick, like, oh, you don't understand, like, the deeper meaning and stuff like that. It's just not for you, man. And it's like, no, that has nothing to do with it. You know, I get the message. I get what he was trying to say, but still, I don't really feel it like that. I don't feel like this is some extraordinary, revolutionary shit that we haven't heard before. Like, this is the same shit that we've heard time and time again. He's not doing anything new. He's not reinventing the wheel, but let these Kendrick stands tell it. It's like everything that he comes out with is almost like he's reinvented the wheel. Like, he created a brand new universe. Like, oh my God, like, this shit is oh my God. I'm over traumatizing in this video, but you get what I'm saying, man. But to wrap this video up, I hope that Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers is a return to form for Kendrick, as far as, like, you know, him going back to that Good Kid, Mad City sound. I hope that I do hear that again. You know, if not, I at least want a good album from Kendrick. Something that I'm like, yo, I could go back to this album and listen to it over and over and over again. It has high replay value. That's what I want to hear from Kendrick, man. But I am curious to hear what he sounds like now. I mean, I heard it on the song, but that's just a little snippet. I'm curious to hear how he's evolved over these past 5 years, because he's been quiet, like I said. So he hasn't been really outspoken on a lot of the shit that's been going on. And, you know, with the Hearts Volume 5, if that's any indicator, then I know that he has a lot to say when this new album comes out. So it's going to be pretty interesting to hear all the shit that he has to say about certain subjects and whatnot. And I'm pretty sure his stands are going to be overly just jizz themselves of just like, oh my God, some people are probably already calling Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers like the greatest album of all time. You're probably going to see that all over social media tomorrow. People are just going to be like, oh my God, this is like the best album. There ain't no album topping this. This is album of the year, man. No, Kendrick, he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT amongst GOATs. He's the GOATs on his own GOAT. Like, yo, Kendrick, man, like, oh my God, man, like, oh, the mastery and the genius, man, like, yeah, I'm prepared to see all that type of crazy shit tomorrow. But I hope it's not overrated. I hope that it does live up to the hype, man, because it's been a while. And it's good to see Kendrick back, you know, doing his thing again. And like I said, I am a Kendrick fan, but I'm not like an over googly-eyed Kendrick stan that pretty much, you know, kisses his ass with everything that he does. Like, you know, kisses at the feet of his altar to all the shit that he comes out with. Like, I'm not that type of dude. I'm more so like a critical type of fan of Kendrick and a lot of other artists, you know what I mean? I think we should be critical, you know? So that's pretty much going to be it. I don't even know if I'm going to upload this, man, because I've been rambling on and on. But yeah, if I do, you're going to see it for what it is. And until my next one, man, I'm out.